I have lost 3.7 kgs in 4 weeks. I started at 79.3 and I'm currently at about 75.6 kilos. So let's talk about how these first 4 weeks of my 2024 cut has been. Let's start with alcohol. I'm going to tell you guys for free that I've been drinking a lot more than I said I would. The goal was to keep it to about 3 drinks per week. I will tell you that I have dramatically overdone that, but I'm very happy to say that it has not really affected my progress that much. Yes, it has slowed it down by a bit, but the fact that I've still lost 3.7 kilos in 4 weeks, that's a lot of weight lost in a relatively short period of time. So moving forward, all I'm going to do is stick to about 4 drinks per week, particularly on the weekends, but on the days that I do go above this, which we all know will happen, I will simply get back on track the next day. Number 2 is my diet. I've not tracked a single calorie during these last 4 weeks and it has been amazing. But I do measure my food. For lunch, I eat 300 grams of starch or less, 200 grams of protein or less, and at least 250 to 300 grams of greens. For my dinner, I eat 200 grams of starch or less, 200 grams of protein or less, and the same 250 to 300 grams of greens as well. As far as the food sources I pick, I eat whatever I want. So dependent on whether I want to have rice or potatoes that day as my form of starch, I'll have it. Same thing with protein. If there's beef, chicken, bean stew, I'll have that, and the exact same situation goes for my veg. This has allowed me to be a lot more flexible and actually pick not some, but all of the foods that I enjoy, which has made this extremely easy for me to sustain. One caveat for this: on the days that I go out drinking, I do not eat any starch. And this is not because starch is bad or carbohydrates will make you fat. It's just that I prefer to use all of my carbohydrate calories and prioritize them for alcohol. So that way that I can still drink while still being within my calorie deficit budget. Number 3 is treats. This is what a lot of people call junk food. I prefer to label junk food as treats because labeling food as junk assumes that they are toxic or bad for you, and they're not when eaten in moderation. Personally, the 2 treats that I've included in these 4 weeks are crisps, of which I have 2 packets on occasion, and homemade popcorn, which I generally have on Wednesdays. I prefer homemade because it is much lower in calories compared to store-bought popcorn. Number 4, this is how my progress has looked during these last 4 weeks. As you can see, weight loss is not a linear progress. Even if you're doing everything correctly, your weight will not just go down on a day-to-day basis up until you reach your weight loss goal. That is not realistic. Your weight will fluctuate up and down constantly, which is normal and to be expected. All that matters is that your gradual rate of weight loss is going down. As long as that is in order, then there is nothing to worry about. Fluctuations are simply normal and part of the process. Last but not least, my plan for the next 4 weeks is to change absolutely nothing. A wise man or woman once said that what is not broken does not need fixing. I've made a significant amount of progress in 4 weeks. So I'm going to simply tweak a few things, particularly with my alcohol. Nothing is going to change with my diet or my workouts, of which I've been working out only 3 days per week in the gym, by the way, for about 1 hour per session. So I'll keep everything the same, and I'm excited to see what these next 4 weeks bring as far as results.